What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, this weekend we got Derrick Speed Racer Lewis versus Jailton Almeida. We got who else is on this card? Is anybody else on this card? For real? Let me look at this card real quick. Best editor on YouTube. We got Cal Baralho, we got Abush Magomedov. And the rest are nobodies, bro. Should be good fights, though. I'm going to give my full predictions. Let's get straight into this shit, bro. I really feel like Derrick Lewis might win, but let me talk about the rest of the card first. Let's go to these prelims. What do we got, dude? What do we got? Elvis Brenner, that's going to be good. All right, first fight on the card, we got Kaue Fernandez versus Mark Jacasey, the Marcus of Jacasey, dude. I'm going to go with, you know what, dude? Always these short look, I was about to pick Mark Jacasey. He very well might win, bro. You know what I mean? He very well might win, but you know what? I'm gonna pick Kaue Fernandez. I've looked at his record, I've looked at a couple of his fights. Seems like a pretty decent dude. And the thing about Mark Jacasey, I was like sitting there writing my notes and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick Jacasey. And then I was like, bro, you lost to Michael Johnson, dude. Like you literally lost to Michael Johnson, like unanimously. Like you got outclassed by Michael Johnson in 2023, bro. Like we're not doing that, man. So I'm gonna pick Kaue Fernandez by split decision. We got Eduardo Mora versus Montserrat Ruiz. I'm gonna go with Eduardo Mora by decision. That's pretty easy W. Angela Hill, Denise Gomez. I'm gonna go with Angela Hill by decision, bro. She's putting that record is crazy though. God damn. Vitor Petrino versus Modestas Bukauskas. I'm gonna pick Vitor Petrino, bro. I'm gonna pick Vitor Petrino. This guy is a ginormous motherfucker, dude. He's probably just gonna wrestle Modestas Bukauskas for 3 rounds, hold him against the fence, and win a boring decision. So I'm gonna pick Vitor Petrino by decision. These 3 fights right here, bro. That's gonna be a bit of a snooze section right here. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going with Petrino by decision. Moving on, we got Victor Hugo on short notice, I believe, against Daniel Marcos. I'm gonna pick Daniel Marcos to win this again by decision. Pretty good resume so far in the UFC, or good performances, I guess I should say. Pretty close fight against Davy Grant, but you know, Davy Grant's a good fighter. So I'm not going to hold that against him. He's undefeated. I'm going to pick Daniel Marcos to win this by decision, maybe 29-28. Let's move on to this dude, this fucking guy, Rinat Fakhretdinov, bro. This guy really thinks he's slick. He thinks he's allowed to show his face in the UFC after what he did to my boy Kevin Lee. That was CGI, but I am going to pick him in this fight. Elizu Zaleski dos Santos, he's got a pretty underrated record. He's an underrated fighter, but he's old, man. He's old, bro, and I just don't see him being like quick enough and like good enough, I guess, or fast enough to really do anything to Rinat Fakhretdinov before Rinat like drops him and hurts him, and then probably just like decisions him 30-27, maybe a 30-26 gets thrown in there. I could see Rinat winning by KO. That's not a bad like kind of pick. I'm tempted to say Rinat just randomly chins him because he does have good power, and Zaleski dos Santos has been knocked out before by Li Jingliang. He's kind of old, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets chinned by Rinat, but if that doesn't happen, it's probably just going to be a 30-27, maybe a 30-26 win for Rinat Fakhretdinov, and this dude's going to move on to fucking, losing to Bilal Muhammad eventually, you know. Headlining the prelims, we've got Elvis Brenner, Little Oliveira versus Kanan Kruskashewski, bro. All right, it's probably going to be a good fight. It's a catch weight. It's at 165. This guy's coming in at short notice. He's pretty good. He's got a good record. I saw him on Contender Series. He's a pretty dangerous guy. But I think the short notice of this is going to be the difference maker. I know there's no weight cut, really. It's 165, but I think Elvis Brenner is going to be in better shape. And we're going to see a late stoppage here, maybe round 2. End of round 2, maybe round 3 TKO for Elvis Brenner, or a 29-28 decision where he comes back after a tough kind of first round. Maybe we go, oh shit, this guy's pretty good. And then Elvis Brenner just kind of wears on him, melts him, finishes him late, pause, and has a very exciting fight to end the prelims and lead us into the main card. So that's my picks for the prelims. We got Elvis Brenner, got Rinat Fakhretdinov, dude. We got Daniel Marcos, Vitor Petrino, Angela Hill, Eduardo Mora, and Kaue Fernandez. All right, let's go to the main card. Okay, 6 fights. Jesus, mate. I got stuff to do, bro. Um, Opening up the main card, we got Ishmael Bonfim versus Vince Pichel. Now, Vince Pichel's pretty good. He's beat like Jim Miller. I've seen him have some good fights before, but again, the dude is about 47 years old. So I'm gonna pick Ishmael Bonfim by early TKO. I think he's just gonna come out the gates blasting this dude, put him away, just be too young, too explosive for him, and I could see him hitting him with hard kicks, maybe locking up a choke if Vince Pichel tries to shoot on him, and getting a pretty early finish to kind of keep the crowd alive. But Vince Pichel, he's a decent fighter. If he pulls off an upset, I won't be too surprised. I could see him kind of wearing on Ishmael Bonfim, gassing him out if he's tough enough and good enough to survive. But I just don't think that's going to happen. So Ishmael Bonfim by KO is the move. Let's move on. We got Rodolfo Vieira versus Armand Petrosyan, bro. All right, bro. It's a pretty good fight. I'm going to pick Armand Petrosyan by decision. I think he's going to out cardio Rodolfo Vieira. I think if he can survive the first round, it's going to be pretty smooth sailing, leg kicking at range, jabbing at range. But Rodolfo Vieira is kind of good. I could see him winning this fight, to be honest. I really could see him winning this fight. If he's like a huge underdog, I would say pick Rodolfo Vieira. But if it's like close odds, I'm going to lean Petrosyan by decision, but the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm like, Rodolfo Vieira might fucking win this. Oh, dude. Oh, he's got longer reach too, and Petrosyan's defense is not good, dude. Fuck it. I'm picking Rodolfo Vieira by submission. I don't give a... Dude, fuck it. Fuck it. Middleweight makes no fucking sense, dude. I'm picking Rodolfo Vieira by decision, but... by submission, excuse me, but I could see Armand Petrosyan winning a decision. Let's move on. We got Cal Baralho versus Abus Magomedov. Obviously, this man is the next in line for the middleweight title. He's going to get a rematch with Sean Strickland soon. But in the meantime, he has to fight Cal Baralho, who is casually top 15. I don't know why he's fighting Abus. He should be fighting somebody up the rankings, but it is what it is. I think Cal Baralho is going to win this fight via submission in round 2. I think he's going to melt Abus Magomedov. His cardio is terrible. He quit in that Strickland fight too. There's one thing about the cardio, you know, to have heavyweight cardio at middleweight, look, bro, you're not going to go far. But also, if you're quitting in round 2, dude, I know it's Sean Strickland, but I think a lot of that was on Abus Magomedov. So I think we're either going to get a round 1 KO from Abus Magomedov, or more likely round 2 or round 3 submission or decision for Cal Baralho. I'm going to say round 2 or 3 submission for Baralho, bro. I think he's pretty good. So that's my pick in that fight, bro. Abus, what are you doing, my guy? All right. Why the fuck is Dante Mays the featured fight? I just opened this card and I was like, why is Dante Mays? Superstar Dante Mays featured fight on this Brazilian card, but mate, I don't make the decisions around here. This is why Bedtime FC is better, bro. But listen, I almost want to pick Dante Mays, dude. I almost want to pick him because this Rodrigo Nascimento dude, I've literally never seen this guy fight before. I'm not gonna lie, but I saw he has a couple split decision wins recently. He's at a reach disadvantage, which I do think is actually a very underrated factor when you're picking fights. A lot of the time, the guy with the reach advantage wins the fight. That's a real thing, to quote Chael P. Son and the GOAT. But you know what, dude? I'm going to pick Rodrigo Nascimento to farm his classic split decision meta. I think he's going to win a split decision against Dante Mays, where he gets hurt a couple times, but maybe he has more volume, or he just holds him against the fence and shit. Because Mays is susceptible to being held against the fence and losing. So I'm going to pick Rodrigo Nascimento via split decision on some bullshit, bro. And speaking of split decisions, we got Nicholas Dalby co-main eventing a fucking fight night, dude. What are we doing? What are we doing with Nicholas Dalby co-main eventing, bro? I'm gonna pick Gabriel Bonfim. I think that's why he's here, because he's getting fed to Bonfim. I'm gonna pick Bonfim by submission round 1. I think he's just gonna hurt Dalby, force him into a bad shot, and latch up that little guillotine that he does. Maybe a ninja choke. I could see that happening, to be honest. As an expert in ninja chokes myself, you know, I'm a purple belt, guys, so I'm basically Charles Oliveira. But I think Gabriel Bonfim's going to lock up a nasty choke, get a W in front of the crowd, and send him home happy. You know, but Nicholas Dalby's underrated. I could see him winning a split decision. because that's what he fucking does, dude. But, you know, if you're having a close competitive fight with Wally Alves, bro, I don't really trust you to beat Gabriel Bonfim. So I'm going to pick Gabriel Bonfim via submission, round 1. Let's talk about the main event. You clicked on the title. You know the thumbnail. I think Derrick Lewis might fucking win this shit, dude. I don't know. I have this weird feeling that he might win this shit, bro, because Jailton Almeida, first of all, got stung immediately by Shamil Abdurakhimov when they fought. Shamil Abdurakhimov, I don't know how the fuck he was ranked for like 3 years. I swear the only fights I've ever seen Shamil in, he's getting absolutely mollywopped by everybody. He tagged Jailton Almeida pretty early on when they fought. Another thing about Jailton Almeida is it's like he's got decent striking. I think he's got underrated striking, but he's so not confident in it. And he kind of gives me Hamzat Chimaev vibes, not in like a good way. I think he gives me those Chimaev vibes of like, if he can't get the takedown, he's going to be like a bit like frantic and a bit weird on the feet and, you know, try and force some shit and just get tagged, you know, like you know how Chris Daukaus was trying to like brawl with Derrick Lewis and just got chinned immediately. Like I could see Jailton Almeida trying to like hurt Derrick Lewis if he can't get that first, like he just gets shucked off because Derrick Lewis is too big and just getting chinned. It's a real possibility, and I do think the Brazilian fans, they bring it on themselves. You guys always boo the fuck out of these fighters and then go crazy when they lose, and I can just see them getting another spoiled main event because they're Brazilians. Like I can just see them all getting disappointed as fucking getting mad at Derrick Lewis chinning them, their boy in front of them. But you know what? Short notice, okay? Derrick, Speed Racer Lewis, unless he's going 136 miles a minute, bro, this dude is probably going to get taken down at some point via that body lock. He's probably going to get dragged back down with that little knee tap that Almeida does. And I think we're going to see a Jailton Almeida late round 1 rear naked choke. I think that's what we're going to get, a late round 1 rear naked choke from Jailton Almeida. Just hanging on that body lock. Maybe he gets shucked off a little bit more than we think early. Because he is a bit smaller than Derrick Lewis, and I do think that's going to be a factor. He's not like Sergey Spivak, who's like huge and probably smells like onions. You know what I mean? Jailton Almeida is a Brazilian Chad who just doesn't cut weight, and I can respect that. But I think he's too skillful. I think he's just going to climb around Derrick Lewis and find that rear naked choke, maybe kind of a neck crank. Derrick Lewis face down on the mat, just locks up a fucking rear naked choke, taps him out. Derrick Lewis says something funny post-fight. Everybody just moves on. I wish it was Blades. I think Blades would have beat Almeida, to be honest. But I'm picking Almeida by rear naked choke. But don't forget what I said, dude. I can see Derrick Lewis shucking off Jailton Almeida from a takedown attempt and then just kind of chinning him in a close exchange in the clinch and just putting him down against the fence. But let me know what you guys think down below. Who are you picking? You know, did Derrick Lewis do anything wrong? Me personally, I just think bro was probably late to an appointment. I think just let him slide on the speeding charges. But let me know what you guys think, dude. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you didn't, fuck you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you in the next video, boys. Goodbye.